These are the new travel rules that will affect people going on cruises in 2026. And in one case, there was some really big news that came out at the last minute on New Year's Eve that I can't wait to tell you about. Hi there. If this is your first time here, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Now, this is a video I make every year. And boy, do we have some big travel changes that are starting in the next couple of months of 2026. Now, this is going to include some airplane travel information just because a lot of the time when we go on cruises, we actually fly to our destinations. But we also have some updates and news from some major cruise companies as well. And I've got to say, while sometimes changes can be bad or hard to deal with, there are actually a couple of them, especially the cruise-related ones, that in some cases you may even like them. Now, before I get started, I did want to mention that if you like this video, if you find it helpful, full of good information, or fun in any way, then please do give this video a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Let's get started. Okay, let's start off with some airplane travel. And I think a lot of you probably know about this one, but there is a bit of an update. So the TSA of course has the rule that everybody has to have Real ID to travel inside the United States. Now this can mean that you get the official Real ID, but this can also mean Real ID compliant identification. So this is passports like a lot of people have. This is an enhanced driver's license. This is Nexus or global entry. However, for people who do not have any of this, so no Real ID, well, the TSA now has come out with a rule that there is going to be a $45 fee. Now, how does this work? Well, the TSA Confirm ID process. That is a $45 fee that is good for 10 days of travel. People can do this online before arriving at the airport, or it can be done at marked locations near security checkpoints. But people can expect delays of 10 to 30 minutes or more. Now, if you're going to be going on an international trip or doing a cruise in Europe, as an example, I do have some updates on ETIAS and other travel permissions. But first, we have a reminder that Real ID cannot be used for cruise travel. That's been a little bit confusing for some people, including some people that have actually been turned away from cruises just because they didn't have the proper ID requirements and documents. Now, we do have a little passport rules reminder that a digital passport card is not valid for international travel. So, it's great if you want to keep that as your digital ID, but if you are flying to another country, you do need your physical passport book, biometric entry and exit into the US. Starting December 26, 2025, the Department of Homeland Security announced a final rule to collect biometric data like face scans for visitors entering and leaving the United States. Now, this is not actually when it starts happening, but it is an announcement that broadly biometric data can be used for flying, for land borders, as well as maritime operations like cruises. Now, as many of you have probably noticed, there are several US airports as well as entry points that are already using biometric facial recognition, especially for non-citizens. Now, I have some updates on cruises in just a couple of minutes, but I did want to get through the travel changes that are happening if you are traveling to Europe. The ETIAS or the Entry-Exit System. Now, the ETIAS replaces traditional stamping. So that is going to be gone with a biometric process for most non-EU travelers, including Americans and Canadians. Now the rollout began in October 2025, but it is going to be fully put in place by April 2026, and it affects non-EU passport holders that are visiting the Schengen areas. Now, there are actually 29 Schengen countries, but if you are going on a river cruise leaving from Germany or France or Austria, or a Mediterranean cruise leaving from Italy or Greece or Spain, or even a Norway cruise, while not in the EU, Norway is a Schengen country. This is something that will affect you. Now, super important if you are going to the UK. Now, The UK ETIAS system is not a visa, but it is a travel permission program. Now, if you are cruising out of the UK or cruising to the UK or flying to the UK, this is something that you need to have. Now, it's super important to go directly on the UK ETA official government website. Right now, the price is £16 for this, and the UK ETA lasts for up to 2 years, or when your passport expires, whichever is sooner. Now, in just a minute, I'm going to let you know about a cruise update that definitely can affect the price. But first, the ETIAS or the ETIAS. Now, the ETIAS has been delayed for already more than a year. However, it is expected to come into effect around the middle of 2026. Now, as soon as we have the updates, I'm going to give you that information. However, something that you should know is visitors from the US and Canada and non-EU countries are going to need this, and the cost is expected to be about €20. Now, why is this happening? Well, this is to increase security, and just a better security. And they also say that this is in order to make lines shorter. Please do let me know if you're planning on doing a European cruise, and if this might affect you in 2026. I know we really need to keep an eye on this one, so let me know down in the comments below. Cruise deposits are starting to default to non-refundable deposits. Now, in late 2025, we saw 2 new cruise lines start to do this. We have Princess Cruise Lines, who now, if you go on their website, and you go to book a cruise, or you go through your travel agent, the lowest price that you're going to see is for a non-refundable deposit price. Now, in the past, it was a refundable deposit, but now it is not. So now Princess actually joins Royal Caribbean and Celebrity in doing this, but we do have another cruise line that is doing this. Now, why are they doing it? Well, we have to look at supply and demand with a tight inventory of cruises, and many people holding cruises for far in the future as placeholders, and possibly canceling as they get closer to sailing. This actually frees up more cruises for everybody to book. But obviously, this is not necessarily something good if this was a practice that you liked, but it's more in line with airlines and resorts, unfortunately. But we do also have Virgin Voyages that they have now a 3-tier pricing system. Their lowest base fare. So the fare that you're going to see when you go directly on their website is actually a non-refundable fare. So this is something new. And by the way, if you are interested in all of the latest information about Virgin Voyages, I do have a video coming out shortly with the updated information as well as what is included and not on Virgin. The medication rules for cruising. Now, we actually have a bit of a clarification on this, and there's a lot of confusion understandably. So, a lot of people wonder, how can I bring medication on a cruise? Am I able to bring it in a daily organizer or planner, or do I need to have it in my original prescription containers? Now, recently, Carnival Ambassador John Heald actually clarified that people are allowed to bring it in pill organizers. So, this is something you can do. However, there is a but because most cruise lines on their website actually do say that best practice is still bringing your medication in their original prescription container. So, obviously you do what feels right for you. But the reason that Royal Caribbean's website states is if security or even medical personnel needed to verify what the medication is, that this is easier for them to do so. Now, the other thing that you should do, just as best practice, is make sure that you do have a list of your prescription medications if you ever needed to get more of them. That would be something important. And the other thing to do is bring an extra few days of medication. It's usually recommended to do 3 extra days. We actually bring about a week. You never know if your travel coming back home can be delayed for, something that is outside of anybody's control. So, this is always something good to do. And as well, if you are traveling internationally somewhere, always make sure that you check the rules of that particular country because there are some medications that might be absolutely fine where you live. But when you go to another country, Sometimes they are controlled substances. Alright. Now, this is what I think is the biggest news and something that I'm going to be watching. If you are planning a Hawaiian cruise or even just thinking about it because it is a wish list or bucket list cruise destination, there has been some major legal back and forth. We've got, I would say, Hawaii cruises are like in limbo right now over this. Now, just to let you know what's been going on is Hawaii does now have a tourist tax that is being put in place, and it's pretty big. But it will be put in place day one on cruise passengers. Now, the cruise lines have been fighting this. They've started legal proceedings because they do not want this tax on cruise passengers. It has the potential to add $500 or more to the cost of a Hawaii cruise based on that tax. Now, what happened is two things. One thing was that actually the courts first blocked this legal proceeding of the cruise lines and said no, this is coming into effect for the cruise lines, and this happened about in mid-December, but at the very end of December, December 31st, New Year's, the Federal Appeals Court actually issued an injunction that is blocking this tax for cruise passengers at least for now. Now, this really is a legal challenge. So, we do not know what's going to happen, but if you already have a Hawaii cruise planned, leave a little bit of extra room in your budget. And for the rest of us, let's keep watching. Let me know, please. If you are interested in more news on Hawaii, let me know down in the comments below. Now, I hope that you enjoyed this video and that it was helpful. If so, please do give it a big thumbs up. And by the way, for anybody who is planning a cruise, if you're looking for a way to stay organized and make sure that you do not forget a thing, I do have the Life Well Cruised Ultimate Cruise Planner. That is a 47-page downloadable printable cruise planner that will help you as a bit of a guide for your cruise. If you want to take a look to see what's included, I will leave all of the information linked down below in the description of this video in case you want to check it out. Bye for now, and happy cruising.